Here we go then, first fight off the night underway, first of 10. Looking forward to seeing the second pro outing of Phee, who made a winning start here a couple of months ago in Brentwood. Came, of course, ring walking with the Singapore flag at his back, and I'm sure he's got plenty of backing back home in his native country. Singapore born, but now based in Kent, and one of several Billy Rumble fighters in action here on the bill tonight. Up against the Nicaraguan based in Spain, that's Bryan Castro. Only once he's been stopped, Castro, but becoming a regular visitor to these shores. Barry Jones alongside me tonight. Looking forward to all of the action, and just early days in this young man's career, Barry.
Yeah, it is. He's looking nice and sharp. He's taking the centre of the ring and he's trying to work behind that nice jab. And most importantly, Alex, he's not rushing his work, and that's a good trait for a young professional there. Just going about his job thoughtfully, nice and calm.
Trying to close the gap. Phee. There's a sneaky jab from Castro, just managed to pierce the guard in that exchange. But for a youngster, what is he, still only 19, Phee? Relatively composed. Nice straight right to the body as well. Trying to close the gap on Castro, trying to snare him in a corner.
Just needs to dip his legs a little bit here now, just fire that right hand to the body there. See, Castro circling to his left there, just take a little feint with the left. Take a step across, throw that body shot there with the right hand.
Nice left hook there. Off the back foot. There was a little bit of an attempt to do the Floyd Mayweather shoulder roll as well from Castro. Not many can perfect that particular technique, but he seems to be breathing a little bit of confidence. A little hand on the rope there, a little bit of showboating from the visitor.
Yeah, he's fleet-footed here, isn't he, Castro? With upper body movement as well. Not very active with his hands, but the feet and the upper body movement are good, and he's making it a little bit tricky there for Phee to hit him clean.
Just missed with the right hand there, Phee, didn't he? But to be fair to Castro, he's shaking a few feints, isn't he? Asking a few questions.
Just threatening the counter, isn't he? He's not actually doing anything, but he's threatening it, and that's just making Phee just clam up a little bit here.
Certainly good, crafty defensive work from Castro. There's the nice hand, right hand it was, a sneak through as we approach the end of the first round. Phee with the most meaningful punch of the fight so far. Into round two then. And I think the pattern of the fight is pretty much set here. Phee on the front foot, trying to close the gap, trying to pin down Castro. Sam Gilly, who's alongside us ringside as well. You'll know, Sam, what it's like when you've got the journeymen or the guys who are trying to survive, or just trying to take the young pros through their steps in the early stages. It's sometimes a difficult setup for a young pro to keep composed, but to try and go through your routines and go through all the things you've worked in the gym.
Yeah, they can be tricky customers, but I was actually here for Phee's debut, and he's a lot more controlled in the start of this fight. He was a lot more erratic in his first fight, so he's obviously learned from that, and he's boxing well here, but Castro's a tricky customer.
He just missed with a sweeping right hand. He almost took a light bulb out with that one, Castro, but it sailed over the head of Phee, who once again is on the back foot. We've got a tricky kind of defensive orientated fighter, Barry. What are the mechanisms to try and close him down?
Well, you got to cut the ring off. That's the first point. So that's getting your front foot in the right position, so he doesn't have an escape route. But also, like I said earlier on, you've got to hit that body, just stop the lateral movement, and if you can stop it for a second, that means step behind the jab, use that front foot with the hand in unison together. You get a bit more weight on the shot, and sit low, so you don't take nothing coming back, and then fire that right hand right down the middle.
And there was the right hand through the middle, up as opposed to down. Castro's giving Phee a few different looks here. He switched southpaw momentarily, and now he's starting to get the bit between his teeth. A little firecracker, this fella.
Nice little right hand.
Just the kind of test you need, isn't it?
There's a nice little right hand there from Phee. Just moved around and then popped the right hand out there off the lead.
And there's the right hand to the body that Barry was asking for as well. Almost a little Ricky Hatton dance round the side as well. That might create a few openings here for him, Sam.
Yeah, he's boxing well with Phee. He's using his angles. He's finding a home for the right hand and a left hook to the body. But Castro slipping and sliding and making himself awkward. It's a great test for Phee in his second fight.
Better round though, isn't it, here for Phee as well? Just having more success. He's a little bit more proactive. He's a little bit busier, a little more intent in his work.
You know, I like with that jab as well, Barry. He landed the jab, but he didn't close the gap. He stepped back immediately just to keep the space, didn't he?
Well, he did something just now, Phee, really good. He took a step back. He took it on the right hand, an angle to the right. So he's not coming back in straight lines. And also, what that'll do there, give you a different angle for the second phase of an attack.
And you can see he's trying that step back left hook a few times at Castro. That was a good round for Phee. Just started to build up, go through the gears a little bit, and I think this is a good match. Good matchup. Into round 3 then, this one scheduled for 4. And Zach Phee went the full 4-round distance in his debut back in June. That was against Nabil Ahmed. And the pair of them here tonight, both weighing in identical, 121.4 pounds. A little bit of amateur experience, not much, but a little bit for the youngster Phee as well. He's actually part of the England pathway set up last year, and what that allowed him was England. Oh, nice right hand gets through from Phee. But England training camps for every month in the build-up to the national championships, Barry, kind of an invaluable experience for a young man.
Yeah, it is, because you're around quality fighters all the time, picking up really good habits, training habits and techniques. He's having a better round here. And to be fair, from Phee, you know, I think he's improved in every round so far. He's learned from the last one and took some better lessons into the next, and he's being much more assertive here, Sam.
Yeah, he's turning the screw nicely each round. But he's not getting over-eager like he'd done in his first fight. He's like, even there, he had a little feint, little step back. He's keeping his distance nice, and he's finding some nice gaps for these shots. He's boxing really well.
And this certainly is one of those contests where even if you are having success, still can't really put your foot on the gas and rush it too much, because you've got an awkward guy here who will make you look a little bit silly. So you have to be calm in every approach.
I like this as a match, Barry, you know. He's a tricky opponent. What you want in the early stages of career, and Sam will be able to back this up, you'll know this from your own experience as well, but you know, every fight should be a learning experience. If the matchmaking, if they're doing their job and they're really thinking about it, every fight should hopefully teach you something different. And this potentially could be a tricky little night for Phee.
Yeah, this is not just a fight where, you know, a lot of fights when you fight journeyman, it's practice what you do in the gym, put in the ring. You're up against a guy who really is not coming to really win, to give you the rounds, to give you the experience. But this is a sort of fight where you have to use your brain a little bit more and you have to adapt, and that means helping you think on your feet. And that's an invaluable lesson. But as Sam knows, as you step at the levels which Sam has dramatically over the last few years, you know, how you have to think more than you ever had to before. You have to adapt whilst the fight's going on.
There's that stabbing jab from the Barry was asking for to the body. That's the kind of platform that might just help Phee.
Yeah, I mean, what Barry was just saying there, Castro's not the journeyman that will just tuck up and stand there with his arms up, and he's giving you little things to think about the whole way through a fight, so you're going to learn so much more with a journeyman like this. And they must trust Phee, because like you say, he could be a tricky customer if you're not up to scratch. So he's boxing really, really nice. So yeah, good performance so far. I'm happy.
I tell you what, Fee's done really well. He's kept his distance quite good. He maintained that really good distance where he can, even if he's missing, he can let his shots go with full extension.
There goes the bell. Referee was just about to break that, but the bell went anyway at the end of the third. Yeah, Barry's right. There was a moment there in the far corner where he set up one attack, and rather than cramp his own space and his own style, Phee, he took a little step back, worked behind the jab again, went to set up the second phase, and that's exactly the kind of thing you're looking for. And
that's a really good thing. If you do that naturally, and you always maintain that distance between, see, the gap between you and your opponent is the most important gap of all. And if you get that right, and you're in charge of that space, then you're pretty much good chance you're going to win that fight. And so to know where you are at all times is very important. You don't smother your work, you don't overreach with shots, and more importantly, you don't walk onto punches. and he seems to have that naturally, know where he is with his feet, against a guy who's quite awkward to read here in Castro.
Referee calls them in then to touch gloves. Start of this fourth and final round. Big night for the Rumble Gym. Zach Fee's one of three we're going to see on the card tonight. Brandon Albrecht's looking forward to seeing him in action in his 6th pro fight. And Tyrone King in a step up against Lorenzo Grasso a bit later on as well. That could be a good test for the pair of them. So they're all going to feed off each other. And there's nothing like success breeding success, but we've seen it down the years. You know, you get fight cities, suddenly, you know, Manchester takes off, Liverpool takes off, and then it happens in a gym, and maybe there'll be a bit of that for all of those boxers tonight.
Yeah, gyms especially, you see in amateur gyms, they pick up a champion, and then all of a sudden there's a plethora of boxers coming through winning everything. And you see it in professional gyms. You know, we've had pockets of, you know, Gallagher's gym, for instance, you know, the Calzaghe gym, where they've just won something. They've had one real good fighter, and everyone's just fed off that. Because you pick up all good habits. The same with the GB squad. That's why we're winning so many medals, because you pick up good habits from quality fighters, and more about not so much their ability, is how they conduct themselves, their work ethic, and that's very important. In professional sports, skill is everything, but to get to the top, your work ethic has to be A1.
Yeah, build it and they will come, or show them and they will follow, and maybe we'll see a bit of that for the Rumble crew tonight. But brief switch southpaw for Zach Phee, but now he's behind. Good left hook to the body there. Looks like here, Sam, he's growing in confidence round by round.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, every round he's turned the screw. He's turned the pressure up a little bit, but he's not got over eager. Good left hook there for Castro. But that's what I mean. He's these little clips he's getting will teach him little things along the way as well. Like defense, you can't fall asleep with these boys, because they will clip you if you leave them gaps. But Zach Fee's not left too many. Good job that for Castro as well. The
first left hook, he had the right glove high. He actually did a little swiping cheeky one after Barry, and I think he just clipped him with that, Castro.
Yeah, and it's good for Phee to take a few punches back, and that sounds silly as a statement, of course, but it is good to get used to a guy who's trying to hit you, because you get used to that. And I think the composure here for young Phee has been fantastic.
Good set up there. He threw it, jab to the body, step back, and although he missed with the jab right hand, it's exactly the kind of platform that he's been looking to create throughout. So that he is thinking what he's doing. He's building momentum, trying a few different things. This is an excellent second fight growing experience for Zach Phee.
Oh, it's a lovely little feint. Good work, wasn't it?
Really stepped in with that jab right hand, didn't he?
The feint before it.
Yeah, opened it up.
To be fair, the last 2 rounds especially, the shot selection has been fantastic here from Phee. Sliding in with that front foot to get that angle with the body shot with the left hook.
Last few seconds. How many fights, how many rounds does it take you to start to get comfortable being under the lights?
Three for him, 30 seconds for me.
Yeah, it does take me about 3 rounds as well. That ain't wrong.
Good 4 rounds that for Zach Phee. Tricky customer in Bryan Castro. He's going to get more work, no doubt about that. He's going to be a good opponent for the sort of bantam, super bantams over here. He'll get plenty of work, no doubt about that, and he looks like he can take care of himself as well. But Zach Phee won every round, I'd venture to suggest, but it's more the way he went through that barrier, I think, and what he was developing as he went along.
Because when the fight started in round 1, you could see straight away Castro was good lateral movement, good vision. He had good judgment of the distance himself, so he looked to be a really elusive character. But I think Phee dealt with it really quickly, adapted, read his rhythm, and then by round 3 and 4, he was in full gear. He was very, very impressive.
Good performance that. Let's get confirmation of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, we go to the referee scorecard. Referee leading every scores about 40 to 36. And your winner, still undefeated,